I'm Alain Holleville. I'm the EU ambassador here in Mali. I've been here for 3 years now. I think there are two types of reasons for that. One is that EU, which means member states and the institutions altogether, have been increasing their engagement in Sahel in general and in Mali in particular, which means to deepen the sectors in which we traditionally work and to engage in new sectors, in particular for the EU institutions in the field of security, which is for the institutions something relatively new. So there is a rationale which is to enlarge the scope of actions and to coordinate more and more the actions of the member states and the institutions. That's a general part of the answer. The second part of the answer is that the situation is such in the center and has been such in the past 3 years that we have to devote some attention, as we do for the North through the peace agreement, and as we do for the entire country for a certain number of issues which are of a common interest. But obviously there is in the center a new dimension to the situation of this country, touching to everyday life, to security, to confidence between people, to the role of state. And we think that we cannot be out of the scope of those new developments. And we try to be more active, to have new projects, new approach, which also implies a higher degree of integration, cooperation between the partners. And that's a real challenge, which is, of course, not of the same nature as the challenge of the country itself. But we need to contribute to producing results and at the same time to contribute to helping the country forging new strategies for the long term. Of course, what we would like to see happening is peace reinserted in the process of everyday life. We would certainly like to see a better understanding between people, that's to say, between the citizens, between the representatives, between the NGOs, between the states, between security, so to create a new atmosphere. And I think there has to be something connected to justice in broad terms, to confidence, to improving governance, so that people feel at home, and that the various components of the population in this part of the country, as everywhere, find a new balance, respecting their diversity, but at the same time also converging in common interests. I think we need to first incorporate as much information as we need. We have to have a better understanding of the situation, which is very complex. And one of the reasons why the situation in the center is so difficult to manage is because it's not only one factor, it's a combination of factors, traditional ones, new ones, national ones, regional ones, sub-regional ones. And so we have to better understand what is the nature of the crisis, so as to be a better, I wouldn't say doctor, but let's say that way, how to cure, to contribute to curing certain factors which we have to know. And of course, one of the difficult points is to find the right balance between deepening analysis and acting, because the rhythm is not the same. So we have to find a new way of working, and as far as center is concerned, as you know, we have, as Europeans, several sources or types of action of programs, and we try to help them working more together. And certainly a better knowledge of the situation is important for the project, and the constraints of the projects are also something useful for the analysis of the situation. So it means more integrated in intellectual terms, but also in active terms, a more integrated approach, taking into account the short-term issues and the longer-term issues.